Hi everybody, Gabby Turner here, and in this pick a card reading we're going to be asking basically, are they just in it for the sex? Is that their primary and only, or like, is that the only thing they're here for with you, or is there more to their feelings and interests? So we're going to look into that and see. We do have three options. I just want to say before I get into them, I have it sort of tilted so that to keep the glare off of it, so hopefully you can see them pretty well. But I'm wearing my Dia de los Muertos earrings because I happen to be parked today next to a giant sugar skull. I'm gonna try to like show you the sugar skull. Let's see. Whoops. You can kind of see, you see, we're looking at the side of him. But anyway, all right, let me try to turn this around without everything falling. So I was sitting here earringless and I was like, which earrings should I put on? And I'm like, obviously the Mexican beadwork earrings today. That's what we're doing today, clearly. Okay. Alright, now I have to realign. Okay, that's good enough. Alright, so yeah, we've got three options here. Again, I'm trying to hold it so that there's no glare. I don't know if there's a way to do it where there's zero glare, but number one is Hilarion. Number two is Lady Portia. And number three is Cernunnos. I feel like that's the card that's getting the most glare, but hopefully you can make them out well enough. So the timestamps are listed below with the name of each of these oracle cards, so you can just tune into your intuition to see which option or options are calling out to you, and I'll see you there. Alright, group one, you chose Hilarion, Divine Healing, honor your sensitivity, retreat to recharge and heal, your light can support others. So just in case this is some sort of extra message for you all, or if anyone wanted me to read the card, I'm doing that. I don't go into it with the intention that the cover cards are necessarily going to be something that's significant to the reading itself. Occasionally they do end up being that. And I am going to read the message from the deck at the end. Again, just for some of you like to have a little bit of spiritual. You like a little bit of spiritual guidance. You need that spiritual guidance from time to time. But anyway, we're going to look at the question at hand here. Oh Lord. If you watch the intro, there is a bit of a theme, which is Mexican art and culture. I'm using the Santa Muerte tarot deck, which actually is one of my favorite decks. I just happened to park today in a parking lot that has a giant sugar skull, which I showed in the intro. So if you watched the whole intro, you already saw it. I'm not going to show it again because it took me forever to like get my camera adjusted back. But anyway, okay, sorry for that prologue. We're going to find out, is your person of interest, the person that you are watching this for, who you are currently thinking about and focusing your energy on, as I pull the cards, is that person just in it for the sex? And I'm going to do a 3-card yes or no spread. Okay, so they're definitely not just in it for the sex, because this is a strong no. All 3 cards are reversed. We have the Knight of Pentacles, the 10 of Cups, and the World card. This person wants it all with you. So the way that I do, if I do a 3-card yes or no spread, then most upright means yes to the question, most reversed means no. And here the question was, are they just in it for the sex? It was a strong no. They are not just in it for the sex. And then beyond that, the specific cards that come out give us more a nuance to the answer. You know, it's like, no, they're not just in it for the sex. And furthermore, here's this information. Okay. So I feel like this person, we have the Knight of Pentacles. This is someone who's looking to be a boyfriend or girlfriend, like to be a significant other, to be loyal to someone, to be dependable. I would say generally, I wouldn't view the Knight of Pentacles as someone who's like at ready for marriage, but they are ready for a relationship. They are ready to go steady, you know, that type of thing. With the Ten of Cups as well, like they can see a future with you. They can see the two of you actually maybe like living together, or they want to live with you. They may even want to have a family with you. And then we have the World card, which is, again, it's like they think the world of you, but also they want it all. They want it all with you. So let's get a few more details here. Yeah, we have the Eight of Wands. Now, that is not to say that they don't have sexual attraction to you. Like, that is also a part of it. So that strong no that they're not just in it for sex, that doesn't mean that they're not also in it for sex, because they are. Like, they do get excited about you. You turn them on in their heart, but you also turn them on physically. And also feel like, because this is paired with the Page of Swords, they do kind of like think about sex with you a lot. Like, they imagine it, they think about it. They might even like plan out like things that they want to do with you sexually. Yes, I definitely feel that is confirmed with this Three of Pentacles. It's like they think beforehand about certain things that they want to act out with you when they will next get the chance, you know, like, so I mean, I'm reading for a group of people. Some of you may already be sexually active with this person. Some of you may not be. Either way, they're like, when I get the chance, this little scenario that I'm dreaming up in my head is like what I would want to like do with group one. And I feel like the reason they sort of plan it out in their head in advance is because they want to like perform very well. It's almost like what they're imagining in their head is like a practice run of it. So like it gets them prepared. It's like, okay, you know, I don't know, it's like they're being their own director, right? Thinking about the moves they want to put on you and how to pull it off, basically. How to pull it off. It's funny. Okay, what else should group one know? Anything else about this connection? We'll just open it up. We have a lot of sevens here. We have Seven of Wands, the Queen of Cups, and the Seven of Pentacles. You are on this person's mind a lot. I do feel like both of you, that is true mutually. And I think that part of it is because maybe at times it has just felt really slow, or you kind of feel lost. Like maybe it's so slow here, like things are moving so slowly that you're just like, are we getting anywhere? Are we lost in the woods? Is there a light at the end of the tunnel? Like, what's going on here? You know, sometimes it feels, I kind of feel, especially on your end, group one, you're the one who's feeling more lost in the woods. Now on their end, I feel like they can maybe see that pace is, it's like almost calculated on their end. This guy is using this, I can't think of what this is called, but it's like a calculator. You know, it's like the old school calculator. Somebody drop in the comments what the name for this is. I can't think of it right now. But they are moving at a snail's pace, but it's calculated on their end. I think that they are doing this because they feel somehow that it will reveal your heart to them more fully if they do that. I guess in other words, they feel that maybe if things went too quickly, that you or them or both of you would be like basing what you're doing more on giving a nice first impression versus, okay, we've had time, we've slowed down, we've been able to be real with each other, right? Because it kind of takes time to open up and get real with another person. When you're dating or talking to someone or whatever, in the beginning, we're trying to impress, right? So I feel like they want to see what's really in your heart more, and so for them, going more slowly feels more authentic. They can trust it more. It doesn't feel like a mirage or an illusion. They don't want to be delusional, right? And so for them, a slower pace, and they don't want you to be delusional. So they want both of you to kind of have your heads on straight and know truly what's in your actual heart. Now, I do feel like both of you actually do have a lot of love for each other. But I also feel like this is a connection that has maybe had a lot of like twists and turns, surprising and unexpected changes, both for positive and negative, right? With the Wheel of Fortune, it's like suddenly, like, wow, a positive change has happened here. But the other thing is the wheel goes in both directions, right? So you might feel like, wow, things are going so smoothly, and then all of a sudden something breaks down and things are not going so well, and you're like, wow, I didn't see that coming, you know, like, where did that come from? So I think that this information is coming up just to help you confirm if the reading as a whole is for you. But is there anything else that group 1 needs to know here about this connection? Okay, I do feel like, okay, so this is something you may or may not know, but it's just good information. The person that you're dealing with, we have the King of Wands and the Four of Cups. They have tried to impress you in certain ways that they regret. Now, I feel like this could be like trying to make you jealous or doing something to catch your eye or stand out to you or come across as confident, that in hindsight, they're like, oh, that probably actually worked against me, right? I think especially if they were trying to make you jealous or something like that, I feel like they regret it. Like, they could have been trying to come across as like, hey, I'm hot shit, you know, like I'm real confident. There are other people attracted to me too, you know, that type of thing. And then they regret it because they're like, wow, I might have like messed this up by acting that way. And because I feel like they're seeing you like this Four of Wands, they see you as someone who really values yourself and is not going to stick around for that type of behavior. Someone who is going to continue to see the blessings in their life and embrace them, and you're not counting on them to supply your happiness, right? This woman is very happy. You know, she's independent, she's self-sufficient. She's accomplishing her goals. She has accomplished goals. She feels proud of herself. So yeah, I mean, I feel like maybe they were at some point doing something to try to match your confidence, but it could have come across as arrogant or just kind of douchebaggy or something, you know? And then they regretted it in hindsight. But they see you as a very confident person, and that's why they did that. Not that it's good, like, not that it was a good idea for them to do that. And even they don't think so now, but that was their mindset, you know, like group one's so confident, like I need to impress them. I kind of feel though that like you see the worth in this person as well, and it does feel to me like you're willing to give them a second chance, because you're like, okay, nobody's perfect, but I do still see that perhaps my wish fulfillment can be with you. We have the Six of Pentacles and the Nine of Cups. And it's sort of like, maybe you want to excuse them a bit and say, you know what, I'm going to give you grace because maybe there will be a time when I need you to give me grace, or vice versa. So it does seem to me that you find this person to be checking a lot of the boxes, if not all of them, and like being willing to forgive or look past little mistakes or something like that. Okay, final ask. Is there anything else pressing? So we answered that initial question, but I feel like we went deeper too, right? It's more of like a holistic overview of this connection. I do offer personal readings. You check out the information in my description box to purchase one of those. But is there anything else for group one to know about this connection? I'm getting a no from your spirit guides. Well, I mean, there's a final statement, I will say. The final statement is that you and this person are going to have to like get through difficulties or survive. The odds are almost against this connection in some way. And your spirit guides are saying, we have Judgment reversed and the Hierophant reversed. Your spirit guides are saying there's only so much that they can do to help this connection along. You know, it's like you and this person are challenged by this connection. You're challenged to bring this connection to its greatest potential, and they're not, your spirit guides are not allowed to make that easier for you. But they want you to know that just because they can't make the situation easier for you than it is, doesn't mean that they don't love you. They're just explaining you happen to be in a moment in your life right now where you have a challenging set of circumstances regarding you and this person that you're building this connection with. And that is something that your soul is choosing to experience. It's a challenge that your soul has to face, and that this person's soul has to face. You have to face that challenge together. So I do feel like it's a sort of soulmate, like you've come together, the two of you, you and the person you're watching this for, to overcome the very challenge or obstacles to reaching the full potential of the connection. And so obviously your spirit guides can be there for you in a sense to help you understand and navigate the ups and downs. It's not like they can't be there for you at all. But they are telling you that they can't just take away all of the challenges and make it all smooth sailing for you. This does kind of feel for me a little bit like, you know, in romantic comedies, the people are falling in love and then all of a sudden there's like something that comes between them, or there's some kind of misunderstanding, or some kind of conflict happens, or they get torn apart somehow and then they have to find their way back to each other. I do feel like there's something about this connection that's like that. And in a way, if you can think of it this way, that when we have to work for something and it doesn't just come easily for us, in the end, we tend to value that more. We tend to see the value and understand how precious it is to us more than if everything had just been easy. Now, I do feel like, again, with this Wheel of Fortune, well, I don't know where I put the card. There may have been moments where you're like, wow, I've hit the jackpot in terms of this connection. Something happens where you're like, dang, that was like, what a major success, or what a major victory I just had in my love life. But it's not all happy synchronicities. Sometimes there are moments where it's like, whoa, that was a really unexpected challenge. But anyway, I've already said that, so I don't want to repeat it too much. But hopefully you're understanding what your spirit guides are saying. The way that I view my reading style is that I am channeling from your spirit guides so that they can communicate with you more directly or effectively. But that said, I am going to read just the message from this card for anyone who wants that spiritual guidance. Did you need some spiritual guidance today? I got some spiritual guidance for you. I got some spiritual guidance right here from Hilarion. He's going to give you some guidance. I am a hillbilly, by the way, so I can't make, I can make fun of hillbillies. I was going to say I can't make fun of hillbillies. I can't be, what am I trying to say? It's appropriate for me. Now, I'm not saying you can't make fun of hillbillies if you're not a hillbilly. But what I am saying is, sometimes people get a little too comfortable making fun of hillbillies. But anyway, a hillbilly, we do like to make fun of ourselves. And that is perfectly okay. All right, Hilarion, divine healing. Honor your sensitivity. Retreat to recharge and heal. Your light can support others. Hilarion is a spiritual master who lived in the Middle East during the 4th century. At the age of 15, he felt the call to go to the retreat of St. Anthony in the Egyptian desert. This was busy with people needing healing, so after a while he went back home with some monks. During that time, his parents passed away, and it is said that Hilarion was so devoted to service, he gave all of their estate to his brothers and the poor. For the rest of his life, he lived as a hermit in a cave and was said to perform miracles with his prayers and touch. To this day, he is dedicated to healing, but he also helps spiritual people who feel overly sensitive to overcome their challenges and integrate with the normal world. I'm going to repeat that last sentence. To this day, he is dedicated to healing, but he also helps spiritual people who feel overly sensitive to overcome their challenges and integrate with the normal world. I don't know about you, but I feel like I can relate to that circumstance. Okay, integrating with the normal world, yeah, it is a bit of a challenge. The world can seem overwhelming to you, and it's okay to retreat to a safe space every now and then to cleanse and recharge your energy. You may feel called to serve others or share your healing with them, but please ensure you are filled up with light, love, and energy first, so that you are not sacrificing your own development for others. Right? So you're someone who's of service to others. Your light shines a beacon for other people. However, you need to cultivate and keep your light cleansed and pure, right? So you have to give yourself love and positive energy first. You are surrounded by the healing light of Hilarion and the healing angels at this time so that you can recharge and feel whole. Yeah, so here's a little green gemstone there that could be, I don't know, peridot or Moldavite, maybe. Maybe if you wanted to work with him, you could use one of those gemstones, but I also don't know that it's necessary either. You could work with frequencies of the color green, or like even green chakra healing, maybe, to connect with him more fully. But I think the overall importance of this message is give yourself what you need in order to feel spiritually whole, so that you can continue to hold a healing presence for other people. All right. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye. All right, group 2, you chose Lady Portia, and this card says Divine Order. Do what you feel is right. An important lesson is unfolding. So I'm going to read at the end of your reading, after we get through the romance portion of it. I will read from the guidebook the meaning of this card, for those of you who just want that. And if you're not interested, that's fine. But that'll be at the end of the reading. So, all right. The question at hand is, are they just in it for the sex with you, or are they just sexually motivated, right? Are they just looking for sex with you? Are they just in it for the sex? You know, that kind of, that's what we're looking at, basically. So I'm going to do a 3-card yes or no spread. If most cards are upright, then the answer is yes, they are mostly just looking for sex. And if most cards are reversed, it's a no, they're not mostly looking for sex. But either way, we'll get more information from the specific cards that come up. All right, so, and I will show you the cards. Okay. So I got all 3 cards reversed, so that is a strong no. So they're not just in it for the sex, definitely, because it's a strong no, right? Because all 3 cards are reversed. Specifically here, we have the 5 of Pentacles, the Sun card, and the Queen of Swords. So I'm going to turn these cards around and look at them upright now, just because this is going to tell us a little bit more about their mindset and their interest. I feel like, okay, so we have I feel like this person views you as a special friend. Not a special friend in the friends with benefits type of a sense, but like you are a friend that makes them happy. I would see first and foremost, they see you as friendship material. I mean, we're going to look more into it, you know, don't get triggered, you know. But then we have the 5 of Pentacles. I get the sense that this person wants to have a friendship with you, but feels unworthy of it almost. Or like they feel like maybe you don't see that in them as well. Like you don't see them as worthy of being friends, but they see you as like, wow, group 2 is like just like a really cool person, and I would love to be able to be friends with them. So I mean, if this is someone that you're already like involved with and it's clear that it's romantic, then I don't think this reading is for you. This might be more for someone who you're watching and they're like a crush, or maybe you are friends or acquaintances or something, and you're just curious. Yeah, I feel like they see you as friend material. Let's ask more about it. Like, honestly, I feel like this is the type of person I almost get. I just have to say it because it keeps coming to me. Like, it's almost making me feel like the gay male friend of a female, and you know, this person has, like, their heart is wide open for you. Like, they really care about you. They want the best for you. I think they view you maybe as maybe sad about something. They might even be aware of some sort of hardship that you've been through, or like something that's made you sad, maybe even a breakup. Like they could be that person who's like, wow, I want to be there for you as a friend to help support you through this breakup, or like to talk you through a tough period of your life or something like that. I think, again, like, especially if this is a man, and let's just say, like, maybe this is a gay man, like, I feel like it's that type of gay man who, like, really still feels almost like a chivalry towards women. You know what I mean? There are some gay men who are just like, they are really like standing up for women's rights and like want to be sort of protective, use their masculine energy to like be protective of the women in their lives, whether it's their mother, sister, friends, etc. Like, that's the vibe that I'm getting. Okay. Yeah, I feel, okay, yeah, like this is someone who definitely, again, I feel like we're talking about a man here, but it's like a man who like feels really comfortable in the company of women. Probably a gay man, you know, like maybe not, maybe bi, but like gay leaning. I mean, I'm not trying to identify someone else's orientation for them. It's just, we're doing tarot here. We pick up on all kinds of things about people, and I just feel like this person sees you as a really good friend, and they definitely want the best for you. A really good friend, and or someone that they just want to be friends with, right? Like, have you ever like just felt like, wow, if I knew that person better, let's say someone you're an acquaintance with, or you kind of know a little bit about someone, but you haven't had that opportunity to really get to know them, but you're like, I just have a feeling like the energy is such that we would be really good friends. So if you don't know this person that well, that's the vibe. They're like, wow, I like would love to be friends with group 2. Or if you're already friends, like they're loving it. I just feel like sometimes, especially those of you where you're already friends and like they know what you're going through in life, it's like they want to be able to say the right thing to you. They really want to be supportive, but they also kind of feel like maybe sometimes they put their foot in their mouth when it comes to you, or they feel like maybe when they want to make things better, it's like they feel afraid that maybe they've accidentally made things worse instead with the things that they've said. Yeah, I feel like maybe this person feels like they've had foot in mouth syndrome with you sometimes, or like they blurted out something and it just came across the wrong way. Like, but I do feel like overall they view you as someone who tends to be forgiving and, like can look past things like that. They also feel like you are the type of person who does kind of know how to say the right thing. And like, I feel like they've been on the receiving end of that before. Again, if you don't know this person that well and it's not that personal of a connection, maybe they've just heard you say things, or they've seen you post things online that felt inspirational, or it's just your attitude is inspiring them to kind of look on the more positive side, or like, that said, they do feel like you're kind of going through a rough time right now or something, and I feel like they just want to be there for you. So no, I don't feel this person is sexually driven towards you. I mean, I do feel like they find you sexually attractive. I mean, they're physically attractive, right? They can see, to them you are. Like, even if this were, like I said, a gay man and you're a woman, they're like, I can see why people would want to be with group 2 sexually, right? Like, I can see it, you know, like, I'm not blind, you know. And I feel like that is not just about your looks, but it's also something about just your vibe or your energy. Like, they're like, I can tell, like, you know, group 2 has a very appealing energy to them sexually and romantically, but I really don't feel like they necessarily feel that way towards you. And they kind of assumed the same in return. You know what I will say? I will say, you know, like, we used to live at a time where it was convenient for, and I guess people still do this, but like to have like quote unquote beard marriages or beard relationships where maybe it was a gay man and a lesbian woman, or could be a gay man and a straight woman, you know, who's just not that into sex or whatever, or somehow they make it work, you know what I mean? Anyways, I feel like if this person didn't feel free to just date who they wanted to date or whatever, if they felt like they could see the two of you being in a relationship, but it would be more like a beard relationship to them. They do feel also like if they were in that kind of relationship with you, that you would probably more so wear the pants in terms of like you being the one to like make the decisions. You like, this is what we're gonna do, this is where we're gonna live. And I feel like against their better judgment, they do feel like if they were in a relationship with you like that, that they probably would give in to you. And it's almost like they do feel like you could wrap, what is that? Wrapped around their little finger, or they're wrapped around your little finger, I guess is how it goes. You see how this guy is like, he's looking down, like his body language is like he's disappointed, but then on his face you see like this big smile. So it's kind of like, oh man, my old lady wants me to do this or that, you know, like it would almost like they might complain about like the nagging wife. Again, this is theoretical, like imagining if you all were in a relationship. They would be complaining about the nagging wife, but it, like with a smile on their face, because they would still be proud to have you. So, I don't know, like human connections are complicated. I hope that what I'm saying here makes sense, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like in general, that's how my readings are. They are kind of like specific and nuanced. And I'm telling you what I'm picking up, so I don't know. Is there anything else for group 2, like anything pressing that they need to know about this connection? So I feel like there might be actually a little bit of a mutual energy. You know how I said at the beginning, this person wants to be friends with you, or they like being friends with you, but they don't always feel that you see the same value in them exactly. But now this same card, 5 of Pentacles, is showing up to represent you. And the 5 of Swords reversed is showing up to represent them. Like, I think that this is, the Hangman is telling us here's a perspective you haven't considered before, that feeling that you might have had of like, oh, does this person really want to be friends with me, or do they really like me even as a person? Yes, and ironically, they have those same doubts about you. Like, so it's definitely, it appears that maybe you're both wrong. And again, I think part of the reason why you might feel that way, that they don't really value you, is, again, they have maybe said or done things before that came across as kind of harsh or judgmental, or that they're trying to one-up you even, perhaps. But like, I don't think that they were really trying to do that. Like, I do feel like there's love here, and they see you as a loving person. But anyway, both of you sort of misunderstand the other one as like not valuing, like they don't value me as much as I value them. Like, both of you are viewing it that way. So it's just ironic. Okay, anything else? I mean, just final thoughts. I feel that the two of you do actually bring a lot of happiness into each other's lives. You both really value, there are like some very happy memories I feel that the two of you share. Again, for some of you, maybe you don't know the person very well, so that part of it may not apply there, but for those of you who do, there are lots of happy memories. Okay, so now I'm going to read from this oracle message in the book. So this is just a little bit of spiritual guidance, if that is what you're looking for today. But the romance portion of the reading is over, so if that's all you came for, just FYI, we're moving on to this second part of the reading. If I can find it. Lady Portia, what do you got to say to group 2? Why am I showing you that? Okay. So it starts off just repeating what's on the card, and then there's a more thorough message. Divine order. Do what you feel is right. An important lesson is unfolding. This powerful goddess is a figure of justice and peace. She brings order and opportunity to every experience. The traffic is kind of loud, so I'm trying to pause. As a lord of karma, she also regulates the law of cause and effect. She helps us recognize the impact of our judgments, choices, and actions on ourselves and the world. She is the twin flame of Saint Germain, so she is strongly connected to the violet flame energy. Together, these twin flames can work as overseers of legal situations. Justice is an energy that's about honoring everyone involved rather than punishing bad behavior. Lady Portia helps us to do what is right morally and spiritually for our soul's growth. Right now, a call for justice is being brought into your space. Even if this means you will lose out, there really is no loss in the highest state of truth. So there's a call for justice being brought into your space. Even if this means you will lose out, there really is no loss in the highest state of truth. Act from the heart, see the other person's point of view, and surrender your pride so that you are coming from a loving space. If you've made choices that weren't for the highest good, admit it. Through this honesty, you are releasing any karmic bonds or anchors of fear from your energy. Take the time to learn from this situation, and if you are involved in any legal issues, know that Lady Portia and the angels of justice are gathering round to honor everyone involved. So it feels like she's coming up to guide you here today, and just kind of like a simple way of balancing your karma. You know, just admitting that perhaps we should have done something differently, whether that was small or large. Just that admission in and of itself releases you from karmic bonds, and also releases you from anchors of fear from your energy, right? Because when we do something that is quote unquote wrong, it does inspire a fear. Like, at some level, we're sort of afraid. Am I going to get caught? Are there going to be repercussions? You know, what's going to happen? Have I brought negativity into my life? You know what I mean? So just that admitting helps so much to balance the karma. So I feel like that's the major lesson here. Let me know if you're getting something more specific out of this for yourself, or like what your take, or what, you know, how is this hitting for you? But yeah, group 2, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye. All right, group 3, you chose Cernunnos, life force, express your driving passion, sensual and sexual powers are increased. Well, that's interesting, especially considering the question at hand, which is your person of interest primarily motivated by sex? Are they just in it for the sex with you? Or are they just wanting sex? So in any case, I'm going to pull a 3-card yes or no spread. Okay, so no, they're not just in it for the sex, because we do have more of a no here. We have 2 cards reversed. We have 1 card upright, so it's mostly a no. They're not primarily in it for the sex, but I would say like the sexual part of it is very enjoyable to them, or they want it because they feel that it likely would be. They do feel like you're very sensually appealing here with the Empress card. But I would say, like, is it just about sex? No, because we also have the 3 of Cups and the Moon card. It's not just about sex. They do have these very strong and developing feelings for you. But I do also feel like this is a person who is still in the phase maybe of trying to figure out, like, I don't think that they're in a place of wanting monogamy, right? But it's not that it's only lust, right? I'm saying there is lust involved. There are also deep-seated emotions involved. That said, I don't feel that they're wanting to settle down with just one person, as much as they do like you. You know, and I split the deck, we get the Hanged Man and the Hierophant. So to me, that is saying that they do see the potential of a commitment type relationship with you. Like, they see the potential, but they're not ready for that yet. They're still wanting to explore their feelings and sexuality with other people, I think. And I do feel like they're also comfortable with you doing that too. You know, it's like what's good for the goose is good for the gander. You know, like they're not gonna get all bent out of shape. I'm not gonna say that they don't have any, like, they could have all the different emotions, right? Like, if they know that you're involved with someone else, yeah, it might bother them, but like overarchingly, they're like, well, you know, like, I'm seeing other people too, like, of course you should have the freedom to do that. It's like, you know, they feel like both of you should have that same level of freedom, right? Fair is fair. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. And to be honest, at least the way they perceive it, they feel like probably neither of you are necessarily ready for monogamy. They feel like you might want it more, like you might be a bit more ready than they are. You're the 4 of Wands reversed, but they're the full reversed. They do feel like they're still gonna be wanting to, like, sow their wild oats for some time now. Like, they are just not in a hurry to settle down and have monogamy. They feel like you are more looking forward to that. And to be honest, I feel like that would hurt them more. Like if you moved on and did find a relationship partner, that would hurt this person a lot more than if you were just talking to other people, or even like fooling around, getting physical with other people. You actually getting into a monogamous relationship with someone else, that would hurt them more. And then it might even make them feel a bit vengeful, you know, and which seems a bit unjustified because they're not willing to give you monogamy. And if they already see that you probably are more ready for it than they are, yeah, they definitely see that you're more ready for it than they are. It doesn't seem fair for them to try to hurt your feelings over it or something, but I do feel like there is that potential here that if they saw you getting involved with someone else and you no longer were giving energy to them because you're being monogamous elsewhere, they might want to like be public about their own romantic life in such a way as to try to make you miss them. So when I say like they would try to hurt you because they would feel hurt by that, it's more like, okay, all right, you found a relationship, you don't have time for me anymore, you're not going to give energy to me anymore because you've decided to be monogamous with someone else. Well, look over here at what you're missing, you know, like, look what I got going on. I may not be in a monogamous relationship, but like I got some loving in my life too, you know, that kind of thing. Okay. But yeah, I mean, this person does have a lot of, like, we have the Devil and the Hermit. Like, they sit with their shadow. This person is very aware. They're very self-aware. They're very aware that they have a shadow side. I think sometimes they might even like give a little bit too much weight to their shadow side and over-identify with it. But they're not afraid to like admit, like, I get jealous, I get possessive, I get controlling, I get selfish. Like, they will openly admit these things in ways that most people don't. Which probably the very fact that they're more willing to openly admit it, it might make it seem like they are more devilish or like more shadowy, but it's really just that they're not trying to hide their shadow, you know, they're owning it. I will say, I feel like this is one of this person's strengths. An actual strength of their character is that they do have that self-awareness of their shadow side. And it's almost like they try to nurture the shadow in a way. Like, they have found value in their shadow side. Okay. In the end, though, I think really, even though it would hurt them, they do feel like you also, Group 3, should nurture your own selfishness and like put yourself first and do what is best for you. So if that means moving on and finding a monogamous relationship with someone else, then they do feel like that's what you should do, right? They do love you and they care about you and they want the best for you. But simultaneously, you know, they're a little bit self-indulgent sometimes with their sort of selfishness and maybe like spitefulness, or like, you know, wanting to make you feel the loss of them if you were to do that. You know, and I don't know, like, again, this person seems to view that as a strength, and honestly, I think that it might kind of be a strength in a way. But I do also feel like there is a danger of this person, if they spend too much time nurturing their shadow side, they're gonna forget all of feel like this person is going to forget how to be just genuinely happy and accepting of their quote-unquote good side. It's like you got the devil on one shoulder, the angel on the other, and they're like giving into the devil all the time. And I feel like they could be sort of losing some of their sweetness, because that balances them out. They have that angelic sweetness. They're not just the devil side of themselves. But yeah, I think as a final message, this person really, either they sing songs about you, or they play music, or they associate music with you. I will just say, like, if you felt that that was the case, then I definitely think so. It's like almost like they're dedicating songs to you sometimes. So maybe they could even like be posting things online or sharing music. It is reflective of you a lot of times, the songs that they share, or it could just be like the songs that they hear in private, but like some sort of association. There's a strong association for them with music. They're feeling their love and the joy that they have in their heart for you through music somehow. Okay, so I'm just going to read this very quickly because I have an appointment to get to, and this has taken longer than I thought. But what was your all's card? I don't know where I put it. Or what was it? Oh, Cernunnos. Okay, I'm going to read Cernunnos from the book. Just for those of you who want the romance portion of this is over, but this is just for anyone who just kind of likes to get oracle messages. Okay, express your driving passion. Sensual and sexual powers are increased. Cernunnos, also known as Herne, or Herne, I don't know, is a Celtic stag god who represents connection to the earth. He is one of the oldest recognized Celtic gods and features on the Gundestrup cauldron, a giant silver vessel from the Iron Age. He is the lover of the Great Mother and impregnates the land so that it will be filled with life. He can help us form a connection with the animal spirits and ancestors of our land. There is a deep buildup of life force within you now, and a need to channel it into action. You may have extra energy or be more alert than usual, or be aware of a sense of increased sensual or sexual energy. If you have been unsure how this ties into your spiritual path, know that it can allow you to access the richness of your soul. When we are not expressing ourselves sexually, our spiritual potential can become tamed or muted. So if you are denying yourself a desire, ask yourself how you can fulfill it. Ask Cernunnos to help you access your sexual self so that you can express it with integrity and in a way that honors your soul. If you and your partner are trying for a child, and this card appears, fertility is very possible, especially if Bridget, Cernunnos' twin flame, is present too. All right, so that's what I've got for you, Group 3. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.